disaster must come. At best, only postponed. Shaolin Kung Fu, to survive, must now be taught to more young men.
All right, welcome back to another episode of Fist Kicks Flicks. I am one of your hosts, Eugene Plowden, and with me is Mike Gibbs. What's up, Mike?
Hey, what's going on, Gene? How are you?
I'm hanging in there, man, especially in these times we living in now. How you doing?
Uh, I'm going stir crazy in the house, but other than
Oh,
that,
yeah?
besides today, I had been in the house 5 days. I hadn't been out 5 days, so.
Oh, wow. I'm still working, so I haven't
Oh,
been able to
wow.
stay in the house. Yeah, so, you know, it's something else, man. I really don't think I should be working, but they think I'm an what they call it, a essential employee or
Essential,
something.
essential business or
I,
essential
I'm
colleague.
I'm none of that. I'm none of that. I work I work for a cat and dog company. You know, working in marketing and advertising. I'm not one of the people on the front line. So it's
Us,
ridiculous for me to still be working.
us in the automotive industry, they're still considered us essential. So we've been going in. We're trying to work from home as much as we can. We have our colleagues on layoff, but we thought we were going to go back April 7th, but now it's looking like the middle of April to maybe the 1st of May now, after what Trump said on the news the other day.
All right.
So,
All right, let's get into it. We're gonna talk about second half of the movie, Fearless Tiger. Are you ready, Mike?
I'm ready.
Okay. So when we left off last time, uh, what was going on? Ping and Lyle went back and he started apologizing for his behavior, how he was acting with Dowman, right?
At the school.
Yeah, at the school. Um, did we talk about Bolo?
No, yeah, I don't understand the whole Bolo part. I think he was it was a very limited scenes with him. I think he had 2 scenes. It looked like
Yeah,
they're doing a kata dance off, and
that's what I.
then yeah,
So Ping told him that if he wanted to learn more, that he needed to talk to the man in the mountain, and that was his name, Man on the Mountain or Man in the Mountain or something like that. So Lau goes there, and he doesn't walk in to say hi or introduce himself. They start doing kata, doing forms. Nobody ever said anything during
nothing.
this scene.
And then they had the girl from Flashdance on there. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I don't know what she was doing. That didn't look like a kata, what she was doing.
I don't know what was going on.
All right, so I guess I guess we're just supposed to understand what happened there, and I guess Lyle meets the man in the mountain, and they become friends. I guess I don't know. He shows him kata. I don't know. That was just ridiculous, and also it was almost as ridiculous as the end of the second scene that Bolo was in. That was really that was just stupid. It was just stupid when we get
Some
there.
push pull type stuff. Now I will tell you this, that it's been probably 3 weeks since I watched the movie, so my memory might be a little vague.
I saw it again. I watched it again, man. I just
Oh,
like to
did you?
laugh. I just like to. I mean, like we said in the first half of this review, this movie is not to be taken seriously. At least I don't take it seriously. I take it as almost a comedy at this point. And if you just want to laugh, then most definitely watch it.
Right.
Especially after hearing our review. Okay, so they get to training. And he apologizes to Downing, and they make up, and they're teaching him things, and eventually he wants to go to the tournament. Did he call it the Baymo, right?
Baymo.
Right,
Baymo.
Baymo. I wonder, how did he know about that?
I don't think it ever says. He just kind of knew about the tournament in itself.
Right, and then Pang started acting like he didn't know what he was talking about, what Lyle was talking about, which is
Right, but
weird.
because Pang was in the tournament.
Exactly. So he was going to compete.
Right.
So then he tells him he shouldn't compete in the tournament because Bo is going to be in the tournament, and he remembered Bo from when they fought in the tournament in Canada. So he told him he didn't really want him to fight in the tournament because you can get hurt, you can die, you can get killed, whatever.
Right.
Right. So then this is actually kind of important. As they were talking, Ping mentions that Bo was a monk, and Lyle thought of him as a drug dealer because he saw him with Jerome in Canada at that bar, right?
Yeah, that's when he exposed him to him from the first time. So yeah, he was kind of telling him, yeah, he's not a monk. So.
Right. And then what they ended up doing was, okay, so once they got that situated, Ping ended up going to the temple and raiding it, which was another just confusing. Like the movie production of it was just weird. They just showed Ping and the police officers going into the temple.
Yep. Walking up to the gate,
and then that was it. That was it. They walked in, and that was it.
Nothing.
You don't see.
Yeah, he let them in.
Yeah, Salomar.
Yep.
Yeah, that was
there wasn't nothing to it. So.
Yep, and then we get to the tournament. Okay.
I'll say what it is. It's the only martial arts in the whole movie.
Well, there was another tournament at the beginning. Remember that we talked about?
Yeah, this is a little more in depth.
Okay, so we get to there. Now, this is the part which was weird. So Lau seemed like he didn't know much about this tournament, but when they get to the tournament, their other friends are there. Sheffield is there, and Jock is there.
Yep.
So how did they know about it? But
maybe maybe they weren't like really friends. Maybe they were just tournament acquaintances.
Okay.
Who knows? I don't know, because I wouldn't go fight in the alley with some acquaintances. So no, they had to be. They were probably better friends than that.
Right. Okay, so and then we go through that tournament, man. That I swear the tournament scene from the Karate Kid was better than this tournament.
Without a doubt.
This was pretty silly. It was pretty goofy. So I don't know how it was arranged. It was just they just paired people up and they started fighting. It wasn't points. I guess you just fought to either knock someone out or knock them out of the ring.
And evidently you could kill somebody in it because he was scared. Ping had told him he could get killed.
Right.
So maybe that was one way, but nobody got killed. And then there was the opportunity came out where they could kill somebody in it. I think it was Bo had someone and he just didn't kill him, but I don't know. It was, it was, just knowing some of the martial arts in it. And, I trained with, your uncle, obviously, and then another person that was in the movie, Harold Howard. And his style of karate, he did actually moves from his karate. So I don't know if they let the actors kind of, do it. I would be interested to ask your uncle if that's what they did, how they did it, how it was scripted or how they did the fight scenes. Because that's the really intriguing part to me was the fight scenes and I guess the comedy of the movie.
I really should have looked this up, but did we talk if Lyle was a real martial artist? Because his skills, his looked the worst.
So he started. I did some research afterwards. Okay. He started and got rank in Shotokan karate, and then he actually, I believe it said he received his black belt, and then he started training in kung fu. So that's why some of his kung fu looks like karate and hard style karate and soft style, if you will. So, yeah, I don't know. But everyone else in it was martial artists, from that tournament scene, mostly Canadians. So,
one of the things that I thought was interesting is we saw people fighting and winning and losing, but when my uncle fought, now I remember this from when it was Black Pearls. When he fought in Black Pearls, didn't he get pushed off the out of the ring or off the platform and tried to get back in?
Yeah. Yep. I
Okay,
think that's what happened this
well,
time, didn't it? No, he just got
no,
pushed
not
off.
on the YouTube version. There, he does not lose at all. Sheffield doesn't lose
Oh, I have the. That's
in
right. I have the movie version. Yeah, he gets
okay.
pushed off and then they grab him. Right. So I didn't
Okay,
watch the
so
YouTube version. I watched
yes,
the DVD.
yes. So on the YouTube version, they don't show him getting eliminated from the tournament. He just, I don't know, they just skipped over that part.
He probably edited it. Oh, they're not.
Right.
I'm not gonna show me losing. I didn't get to reverse punch nobody.
That is right. He didn't do any reverse punches,
No,
did he?
no,
It
not
was
until
all
the street
kicks.
fight scene, and not till the street fight scene. So then he double reverse punched somebody. Oh, Lord. Oh, he actually, I think it was a spinning kick, spinning side kick. He killed somebody with or
I
something.
saw
I
that.
don't know.
Yeah, I saw that. That actually, I flinched when I saw that. Actually, a lot of the kicks I flinched because I remember getting hit
He
with
hit
some of
some.
those techniques.
That's right. He hit somebody with the float kick in the movie.
Yep, yep.
Oh
So
yeah.
then, so they get to the so they ended up Lyle and Barr in the finals, and Lyle pretty much just gets thrown off the platform, and then they ended up going into the tent, and I don't know, it was just weird. Like it was just weird how that was all done.
And then they bowed to the. There was the four judges, I guess you will, or the four tournament promoters that were sitting at a table, and Solomon took him over and bowed to him or whatever. That was
Mhm.
weird to me.
Yeah. So back in the tent, they discuss. They talk about the tournament. They started talking about asking Ping what he found at the Buddhist temple.
Right.
And then that's when Jock and Sheffield figured out what was going on. And they started talking. They called these guys the Black Pearls.
Black
Right.
Pearls from Vietnam.
Right. So Sheffield knew them from them and said they were pretty bad dudes.
Yeah.
um, Another thing. So Sheffield not Sheffield, sorry. Ended up getting one of the statues, right?
Yep.
From there. So that was interesting, because number one, I thought they were putting drugs in the statues, and number two, at the end of the movie, when we get there, Lyle ended up taking another statue for his girlfriend back home,
Yep. The
which was
other
confusing to
bookend.
me. Right. He already had one. There was no need. This is more bad writing for this movie.
Right. Hey, you know what? I didn't even think of that because you don't need two bookends. If you have a bookend, you only need one.
Well,
Unless you
he
got
already
multiple shelves.
he already gave her one, and when he went there, he remember at the first tournament he got her one.
Right.
So then at this point in time, he has a second one because Ping took it from the temple. But at the end of the movie, he grabs another one for her. It was no need to grab that second one. I don't know. That was crazy, but that's part of the end of the movie also.
Right.
Huh. So then they decide to go talk to the captain of the police department, tell them what they figured out, that these guys, the Black Pearls, are actually drug smugglers, and they're the ones that are actually increasing the drugs in China. I don't know. The captain didn't seem to care too much about what's going on.
Like he didn't believe him.
Yeah, exactly. And what we don't know is he ended up speaking to his superior after that, right?
Right.
We didn't see that part, but later on, they mentioned it. Lau, Sheffield, Ping, and Jock ended up going and to back to that tea house where that girl was who Lau was flirting with earlier.
She
And
sold them out.
yeah, she ended up calling the Black Pearl because she was over hearing their conversations, and she knew that they were trying to get to the bottom of this of who the Black Pearls were and the drugs and everything. Yep. And the next scene, this reminded me of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Leave on that dark end, and all of a sudden the Black Pearls just pop out, and a fight happens. That it seemed like this was the Turtles at that point in the movie.
Because the way they did the scene, they showed them up above, just like how Ninja Turtles was.
Right. so they drop down. Fighting happens, and I think Jock, he ended up taking a bow from somebody or some type of weapon, but then he threw it away. So all of the Black Pearls had weapons, and none of them had weapons. Mm-mm. And it seemed like they were getting beat up. The Black Pearls were. But then all of a sudden, Lyle and Ping and Jock and Sheffield, all of a sudden, they started getting beat up. So through this whole movie, Lyle is getting beat up, and he's supposed to be our hero in this movie.
I didn't like the fight scene. I have no words for it. I mean, they came out with weapons, but it was more just the bow staff, like you said. And then there's a. Right. I can't even talk about it.
Yeah, it was pretty goofy. So then after that, they ended up, they thought that the Ping's boss had sold him out. So they went to confront him because they didn't realize that the girl actually had called the Black Pearls. So they went to confront the Ping's boss. And the next thing you know, he gets blown up in his car.
Blown up in the car.
Once again, these people, it was like a kid with a new toy. It's like somebody gave them the right. They said, okay, you guys can have 5 explosions in this movie. And they took advantage of that.
And they're big.
Because every chance they got, they blew something up, a car, a motorcycle, whatever they could. Yeah. It was ridiculous. So the next thing they show, Ping's bosses being attacked by the Black Pearls. He was in bed with some woman, and the Black Pearls came into his room and pretty much just killed him.
Okay. So that whole scene was crazy. He knew there was heat, though, because he had the gun on the side of the bed. It took me a couple times, I'll be honest, to watch that part of the film to realize who he was. That he was Ping's boss.
Right. They never gave him a name. I don't think they gave him a name.
Because I just went to the scene where he was in bed with the girl, and then they came in and assassinated him, and I was like, who is this guy now? It took me a minute. Like, I had to watch it back and figure out who that guy was. It wasn't really set up. I guess you could talk about scenes being set up and kind of tell the story within the movie, and they really didn't do a good job of that.
No. Next scene.
Like you're doing not to interrupt, but you're doing a better job. I'd rather listen to you tell the movie than watch
it. Right, man. I mean, actually this movie, it would be pretty cool if somebody could take it and rewrite the movie, do it the right way, add in scenes that would make sense and make the movie flow together better, because it's most definitely not put together well at all. I don't know, maybe it was like someone who just got out of college, or maybe somebody who did not have experience writing movies or directing movies or something. I don't know. It's a lot of stuff that's just really off.
I did my research on this because I wanted to understand it and try to put my hands around it. So Lyle, I forget his real name in real life, he owns the production company that made this movie. And then the next 3 movies that came out that had sport karate individuals in it, he produced it.
But so was this his first movie?
I believe so.
That would explain it. That would explain it.
So
everything you do at first is going to be a little rough, and goodness gracious.
When I looked him up, they said he is the what is he? He's not Israeli. Whatever nationality he is, he is the considered like the Steven Seagal of that country.
Oh boy! All right. Well, then that's bad. If he is the Steven Seagal of whatever country he's from, then that's not cool. I mean, it's not like Steven Seagal. It's not like Steven Seagal is some type of world beaten. I mean, besides in movies, martial artists either. I don't know, man. Back in the '90s, I kind of like Jean-Claude Van Damme's movies better than Steven Seagal
Oh,
movies.
see, not me.
No,
No, I like
but
Steven Seagal, man. He was a killer.
and you know what, man? Now that we doing these reviews, man, eventually we'll get to them. Like I think the only one I really can remember was Under Siege. Wasn't that one of Steven Seagal movies?
Oh yeah, but that wasn't good. He had like Above the Law, shoot the man. He has Shoot to Kill. There was a lot of them. He's a killer, man.
We gonna get to him.
We're gonna
Okay,
get
so
to it.
then Lau ends up going back to talk to Diamond. I don't know why he decides, and we don't know where the friends are. The super friends, they disappeared. Lau goes back and he talks to Diamond, and Diamond tells him that Bo was actually his student. And the reason why while Diamond was so rough on Lau in the beginning, telling him to be patient, was because he wanted to make sure that he didn't eventually become a bad person like Bo
Right.
is.
So it's like he was in the dojo, left the dojo, and went to the dark side. I know some individuals like that, man. That's crazy.
Okay, so this is what we're gonna do now. So then Lau and the friends, for some reason, they don't get the authorities involved. Lau and the super friends, they end up deciding to go to the temple themselves. And they sneak in, they break in, they look in the window, and then they see that there's a secret passage in the window. They also see the girl from the tea house talking to Salamar. So then Lau says, I have a plan. He disappears. We don't know how he gets in there. No. He somehow just magically, you don't even see him. He somehow knows how to get to the secret passage also, because we don't even see him looking around. We don't see him pulling down a lever. The next time we see Lau, he is coming off of the elevator in the laboratory where the drugs are being made.
And goes nuts.
Meanwhile, the super friends are outside. They don't go inside with him. They stay outside to watch. I guess I don't know why they didn't go in there with him. That was crazy. Yeah, so like you said, he goes crazy when he gets in there. He starts tearing up stuff, turning tables over, messing up everything. Which was, I don't know, man. That was crazy. Somebody should have shot him. Like
I think so I've tried to rationalize this. So I said the pressure of he was trying to support Ping and just put an end to it. He was trying to help his boy because he knew his boy Ping was under a lot of pressure to end the war on drugs. So maybe he was just trying to help him out.
Somebody should have went in there with him. Sheffield, Jock, somebody should have went in there. Meanwhile,
Sheffield ain't going in.
This is the part that was crazy to me. So he ends up getting into the temple, and nobody sees him. He somehow breaks in, and nobody sees him. Salamar right there by the entrance to the secret entrance. I don't get it. It just didn't make any sense.
Well, that's a good point, because if you think about when Ping went to, you just talked about when he went to the temple for the search warrant, how many of them was there? And
they came deep. They came deep.
Right. So yeah, that makes no sense.
There was a bunch of that didn't make any sense. So anyway, he gets in there, he destroys everything, and then one of the scientists throws some chemicals at him, and he moves or ducks or something, and the main scientist gets hit in the eyes with his chemicals and becomes blind. Right. Blau walks around some more. Oh, and then outside for the super friends, they're the Black Pearls. They come and they all, I rewound it back, and they all had weapons. And it was a good 20 of them. It was like 20-3.
Right. There was a lot.
They got jumped with weapons. They should have destroyed. It just wasn't making sense from a story writer's point of view. That was just ridiculous.
So let me ask you this. I know I understand it's a martial arts movie, but did Ping ever carry a sidearm in the movie?
I don't know. I didn't even see that. I never paid attention to it. I don't know. He probably would have just broke out with a kata anyway, so I don't think it really would have mattered. Okay, so then after that, um, they Lau grabs the statue. This is what I was talking about. He grabs the statue off of the death for some reason. Now, this statue that he grabs so happens to have the disc in it for the formula that's the chemist had been working on. So this is what was crazy to me. The chemist had already told Salamar that it was going to take at least 8 or 9 months or something like that to get it done. So has that time lapsed? Have we been there 8 or 9 months all of this time? Do you think that's the case? It doesn't seem like it.
No, it don't seem like it, but he did go to Hong Kong, Canada, I don't know. They buried somebody. They buried his brother. I don't know, man.
Once again, that's more bad story writing. So then Lau comes outside. He sees the guys fighting. He takes off the little hood, robe, whatever he had on. I'm just over there to get them and tell them. And then that's it. They run back, pick up the statue, and then they leave, right? Next scene, Lau is talking to Bolo. And I don't understand this. Maybe you can help me out. Did you freeze up, Mike?
No, you froze up.
I froze up. Okay.
I just heard the next scene he was talking to Bolo, and that's when he was kind of doing the push-pull with him, the whatever they were doing, the relaxing type punch or whatever, out on the balcony or wherever they were at.
Yeah, that's the part I didn't know. What was the purpose? What he was trying to teach him? He was take like these metal balls out of Bolo's hand. I don't know, man. It was stupid. It was stupid and pointless. It was like it almost seemed like they said, okay, we can get Bolo in our movie. What we gonna have him do? I don't know. It don't matter. We just got him in.
To get the name.
Put him on. Yeah, we're gonna put him on a box. Seems like he got a big part in the movie. That freeze up again.
It's when you lean to your right.
Okay.
So don't go there. There you go.
All right, my mic over there. Okay, I'm just making sure you can hear me. Yeah. Okay, all right. So after he talks to Bolo, he gets on the plane, he comes back to Canada. He thinks everything is fine. He's gonna go take the job at his dad's place. He's gonna make up with his fiance. His dad was happy to have him back, but the fiance wasn't. She wasn't having it.
Nope, she wasn't having it. She went. They were at like an art gallery or something, weren't they? And he just went and showed up like it was just their relationship was going to be good again.
I don't know, man. I think he got problems. I think he got mental problems, actually. I think Lau has mental problems to think that he's been gone. Let's say, for instance, that he really was gone for 8 or 9 months. And he comes back and he's thinking that his girl is still going to be waiting on her. We didn't see him call her. He didn't call
Hold on. I'm going to tell you. Is this PG-13?
I don't know.
Babe,
I don't think
I leave.
That's what you're gonna say.
Hey, if I ever go to Hong Kong for 8 to 9 months and come back, better not be no man in this house. I'm the man. That's the difference. That's the difference between Lyle and I.
Nah, I ain't gonna lie, man. I'd be scared to come back home. I wouldn't even want to come back home. I wouldn't want to come back home and see what was waiting for me if I was gone for 8 or 9 months. If Lyle was gone. But anyway, she wasn't happy. She told him pretty much to get the hell on. She didn't want nothing to do. She didn't want the statue that he brought back for her. And she really this actress displayed some of the worst acting I've ever seen in my life. She was absolutely horrible. She was horrible.
I didn't do any research on that actress. I'm I'm kind of intrigued to see if she was in other movies because she was probably the worst one.
Yeah, because as mad as she was, it was like a flip the next time we see her, right?
Well, she was
So
trying to save her though.
yeah, but still, I would. Lau has lost every single fight that we've seen in this movie. He's lost
Even with
single
women.
fight.
His dad, he's just a loser, man.
Pretty much. Okay, so it's like Charlie Brown. This is like Charlie Brown being a martial artist. That's Lau. He's a loser. He's a big loser.
Yeah, if he didn't have super friends, Black Pearls would have executed him.
All right, so then Lau just kind of walks off, goes back home, and the Black Pearls somehow they followed him. I don't know. That was stupid. We don't know how they knew that he had the statue, but one of the Black Pearls was following him. They followed him to the gallery and saw him have his talk with his girlfriend. And eventually the Black Pearls, they thought that he gave her the statue. And they came in. Oh, another ridiculous. Did you pay attention to what happened?
Stop. So this scene kind of gave me fits because the Black Pearls are outside her house, and they get a knock at the door, and it's the Girl Scouts. I'll just call them the Girl Scouts. They're selling cookies, and then it closes the door, and I was like anticipating the Black Pearls to like push the door in.
Nope.
But no, he jumps through the picture window,
head first
into the living room.
The living room, and then gets up like, "Hey, I'm okay." Like that was ridiculous. This guy dives head first through a window. Like I have never seen anything like that before, and it just pops up. I'm okay. I went through the window, but I'm okay. Here we go. Where's the statue, girl? You know, that was ridiculous. So they capture her, and they ended up calling Lyle on the phone and asking him for the statue. Right? Is that what happened? That's what happened, right?
Yeah, they called him, and then
no, they wanted the disc.
They wanted the disc. Yeah, and then kind of said, "Hey, we have your girl."
Right.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah. So anyway, they said we saw you with the statue. He grabs the statue, smashes it, sees the disc, and then tells them, "Okay, I'll meet you at the gallery." He goes back to the gallery, and once again, this actress displays some of the worst acting I've ever seen. She was smiling from ear to ear. She was so happy to see Lyle pop up, and I don't know. He gives them a disc. He snatches her, and they run out. Meanwhile, somehow he was able to create a fake disc, and he gave it to him. It wasn't a real disc with the plans. Stupid.
The little character on it pulled his pants down and gave him the finger.
Yeah,
or something like that.
It was ridiculous.
On a Commodore, it looked like Oregon Trail.
Now, that's pretty much the end of the movie.
That is it.
After that, it's a chase, and we see Jerome and Salamar and a couple other guys in a car. Lyle and Ashley are running down the street. A truck is coming toward them, and they stop. Well, she falls, and Lyle bends down. Instead of helping her up, he just kneels down with her, and they just cover up, and the truck is coming toward them. So they just pretty much gave up on their life and said, "Okay, well, we'll just die right here in the street," instead of getting the fuck up and running.
Yeah,
that didn't make sense.
That movie's a shit show, man. There you go.
And then the truck, when they showed the truck wasn't even next to him. It wasn't even close to him. And it went like the opposite direction from him. It was ridiculous. I don't know, man. Oh my goodness. So eventually they get up again and they running. So they're running, and meanwhile Salamar and Bo and Jerome are in a car and somehow cannot run them down. They should have ran them over. That's all they had to do. But no, they don't get a chance to do that because they jump on the back of a garbage truck.
Yeah. Oh.
They jump on the back of a garbage truck. Somehow I don't know, Salamar and Bo jumped on the garbage truck, got knocked off back into the car, and then Jerome and Salamar flipped their car, and the car explodes. Another explosion in this wonderful movie. Yeah. They blow up. Well, somebody survived because they got up and they were running. They were in fire, screaming. Right. Bo and Lyle are fighting on the garbage truck, and Lyle gets knocked off. And for some reason, Bo jumps off and then runs into an abandoned building. Lyle follows him in. That's where they have their fight, which was horrible. Lyle defeats Bo with a flying sidekick.
And that's what it was. He had never took to the aerials.
So that was his power.
That was it.
Let me ask you this. So that's pretty much the end of the movie. Lyle grabs the disc and crumbles it up like it was a piece of paper.
The floppy disk.
Floppy disk. He walks outside the abandoned building and hugs Ashley, and then roll credits. That's it. That's the end of the movie. Oh man.
Let me ask you this. So what do you give it? On a 1 to 4, like Siskel and Ebert.
That depends. Like if
there's no depends.
Well, no, this is what I'm going to say, man. If I'm grading this as an action movie, I'll give it a -2. If it's an action movie, but if this is a comedy spoof, if it's a spoof like the Wayans brothers did this, then I give it a 4. It was pretty funny.
You're being generous. The Wayans brothers would never touch this movie. Never one.
I don't know, man. I think Marlon. I want to see Marlon play all the roles. That's what I want to see. I want to see him be Salamar. I want to see him be Bo. I want to see him be Jerome. I think Marlon Wayans can pull it off.
Marlon Wayans? Do you think so?
I think so.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so that's the end of that.
I'll say this though. I hate to admit this. I've watched a lot of B-rated martial arts movies in my time, and I'll give it like on a scale of 1 to 4, the Siskel and Ebert rating. I'd give it a 1.
You say that 1. Like you say that like that's a good thing.
I've watched some B-rated flicks that are pretty bad.
You know what, man? I like I said, when we first had the first episode, I didn't grow up watching a lot of martial arts movies.
Right.
I saw all of Bruce Lee's movies. I saw all of those. Those weren't bad as a kid. I don't know how I feel about them now as an adult. Like I said, I just tried to watch Bloodsport a couple of weeks ago, and oh my god, that was ridiculous. I don't look at it the same way I did when I saw it back in the 90s.
Yeah, because I love that movie in the 90s.
Yeah. When was the last time you saw it?
Man, I bet you it's been 10 years, 15 years.
Wow.
I should watch it.
Yeah. We'll eventually get there and we'll review that movie also. But
hey, so if Marlon Wayans plays all the different characters, who plays Sheffield? Jimmy Walker?
It'll have to be no, because Jimmy Walker's too old, man. It'll have to be somebody. It'll have to be somebody that's part of the Wayans family. Somebody probably Keenan Ivory Wayans. Keenan might do it.
Who plays Ping though?
Ping. They might bring their boy back. Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey.
That's awesome.
All right, let's switch gears, Mike. Okay, we're going to talk about Jon Jones. I saw in the news that Jon Jones the other day was arrested for DWI.
He got off.
Still, man, I mean...
He pled guilty about this today. He pled guilty. He came to agreement with the prosecutor. He's on house arrest.
I don't understand, man. I don't understand. I was rooting for him when he first got into the UFC because I think he almost got in by accident because he stepped in for Rashad where Rashad couldn't make a fight or something. I think that he was a backup and he got in. I don't think he was in the UFC before that. I don't believe he was.
I don't know. I just remember him showing up when he right before. I didn't start really paying attention to him until he was about to fight for the title. So
Okay, so it wasn't long. He had about maybe 3, maybe 4 fights before then, or something like that. Something like that. So I was rooting for him because it seemed like they were trying. At that time, you had Rampage, you had Rashad, you had what's his name? Phil, Mr. Wonderful. I can't remember his name.
Phil Davies.
Yeah, Phil Davis. So you had about 4 black guys who were the top of the light heavyweight division of the UFC, and I don't think they really wanted another guy up there at that time. And eventually they ended up fighting each other, and one by one they got rid of each other. But Rashad and at the time Rashad and Jon Jones were teammates. They didn't want to fight each other. And Dana wanted them to fight each other. And I think eventually Dana talked Rashad into wanting to fight John, and John didn't want to fight him.
Right. I think that would have been a good fight.
Well, they eventually did fight.
No, in their prime though. Rashad was kind of out of it when they fought.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
he was on the downside of his career.
Right. But Jon Jones, man, I was rooting for Jon Jones because it seemed like at the beginning of his career he had so much against him, and I think that if he would have kept his nose clean all of this time, I think universally people would have considered him to be him and GSP would have been like it would have argument. People would have argued like who would have been the best pound for pound fighter of all time between GSP, Anderson Silva. And Jon Jones. That would have been a good debate.
Yeah, I don't like GSP. He just always bored me. I never liked him as a fighter.
GSP? Wait a minute.
I never liked him. He bored me as a fighter.
He's pretty much the blueprint of the type of fighters that we have now, though. Because
I think fighters now, their stand-up skills are better. I feel they push the pace more now, more of an up-tempo wrestling style pace with coming at somebody, and GSP kind of just sat back, waited in the pocket, and picked his shots. I wouldn't spend $10 to watch GSP.
He was a karate guy at a time when there weren't a lot of karate guys in the UFC.
That's why you like him.
Well, that's not only why. That's not the only reason. Like nobody could beat GSP at that time, and
for it's because his style, though. It's because his style. Now, style-wise, he was a nightmare for people because he's kind of like a Hoist Gracie. People didn't know jiu-jitsu. He was the first one to introduce the karate fighting style, if you will, into MMA. So people had to adapt to it. So from that perspective, he gave people issues, and he was a hard matchup. But as far as a spectator wanting to watch somebody fight and talk about the people who want to see a fight, I'd rather, whenever GSP fought, I'll say this: I never bought it.
I was a big fan of GSP. I liked how he fought because he was different than Matt Hughes. And I saw his first fight with Matt Hughes. And at that time, Matt Hughes was the dominant welterweight at that time. Nobody was beating Matt Hughes.
See, I like Matt Hughes.
But see,
he was a wrestler. That's why. So
yeah,
I liked him because he was a wrestler. You like GSP because he's a karate guy.
Yeah, but wait, hold on. I didn't dislike Matt Hughes. Like, I really like that Matt Hughes versus Frank Trigg. Both of those fights were great.
Right.
Especially the second one when Matt Hughes was about to lose to Frank Trigg. Like, he was about to get choked out, right?
Yep. If I feel if Trigg had better stand up, he would have beat him. Because he'd have been able to mix it up more. And, Matt Hughes just more or less just kind of muscle fucked him, if you will.
But Frank Trigg wasn't going to beat GSP.
No. I know that. I don't like GSP, but even I know that.
So, back to Jon Jones. I think he most definitely would have been in that pound for pound talk. He still could be, but I think after the whole thing went down between him and what's my man name? Chael Sonnen.
Chael Sonnen. Yeah.
that's when things changed for Jon Jones, when he didn't want to fight Chael. And I don't blame him. I wouldn't have wanted to fight Chael either. Chael didn't earn a title shot.
There's nothing, you gain nothing and could lose everything fighting Chael Sonnen. That
Right.
would have been a bad fight for him.
Right. And Chael at that time, I think Chael had just fought not GSP, Anderson Silva twice and lost.
Yeah.
And he was a middleweight. He had no reason to even be offered a fight in the light heavyweight division. So I wouldn't have fought him either.
No. I just think there's something underlying with Jon Jones. I mean, everyone talks about the drug abuse and things like that. But this time, I think before we came on, I was reading, he was saying something about his relationship with alcohol or something, but there's something underlying with that guy. I mean, I don't want to talk bad about anybody, but like there's some deeper issues with him. And
it might be most definitely might have, he could have some depression issues because he has some serious substance abuse problems.
I like him though. I just hope he gets it straightened out.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I hope so before he hurts himself or other people, or before he has to do some serious time in jail. Hopefully he'll get his stuff together. All right. The last topic I want to talk about is UFC. I believe it's 249.
249.
And now, with everything that's going on in the world, not just in our country, but in the world, Dana White is still trying to push for this event to happen, and I can't understand why. Do you have any idea?
Here's the thing: they don't have a fighters union. They don't. We've all read and seen the articles and YouTube videos and the podcast of the fighters and the pay they get. If now more than ever, I wish the fighters would come together and just say, "Hey, we're not fighting. We're not fighting."
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wish that's what I would like to see happen: is the fighters come together and say, "Hey, we're not going to fight." But
I really don't think that'll happen. Because that's something that Tito Ortiz used to push for, was the fighters coming together and sticking together, especially for pay and things like that.
But this is world health. I mean,
exactly. I don't know. Like, I don't know why any fighter would want to fight in UFC 249. I don't understand why any spectators would want to go watch it. I don't.
Did you see the show they did in, I think it was Brazil, with the empty stadium?
No.
Yeah, they did a show. They had a fight, and they fought in Brazil a couple weeks ago, I believe, and it was empty stadium, and it was just, there's nothing there. It's like the WWE and AEW with no fans in the stadium, and it's just not there, you know.
Okay. With WWE and AEW, I believe they have to run shows because of the contracts that they have with NBC and TNT and Fox. So I think they're obligated. I believe that's the case, or at least that's the excuse that I've heard. Because I'm quite sure the NBA and Major League Baseball probably have the same type of contracts with these.
But that goes back to my original statement. The difference between actors, Major League Baseball, NBA is they have a union, a players union, and an actors guild, whatever they call it, guild union, whatever it's called. I'm sorry.
Right.
And wrestlers are independent contractors. They are self-independent contracts. So if they had a union, I don't know how that would play into like the NBC and TNT contract, like you said, but I think it's ridiculous. Dana White, getting back on topic, is trying to find a venue. Has he named where they're going to have it yet, or is he trying to keep that hush at?
No, they were supposed to have it in New York, and they can't have it in New York. I think the article I read, they were supposed to have it in Brooklyn, and they can't have it in Brooklyn. So they're trying to find someplace else. Now, Khabib is supposed to be on that card also.
And Tony Ferguson.
Yes, but Khabib is stuck in Russia. He can't leave Russia So that fight's not going to happen anyway. So it's pointless. It's like, all right,
what was the undercard? The women?
Hold on 1 second. I got it on my
Rose.
iPad.
Rose was fighting, I believe.
I'll let you know 1 second. I got it right here.
Another has-been was fighting on the card. I can't think of who it was.
You have Jessica Andrade against Rose. I can't pronounce her name. Namajunas.
Giannis.
Okay. You have Magoon against Ian. Islam against Alexander. Jeremy Stevens versus Calvin Kattar. To me,
Jeremy
it is not.
Stevens is the has-been that was on there. I was thinking of.
Yeah, I mean, this card. I'm looking at it. I mean,
let it go.
Yeah, I mean, they can postpone this to another time, just to make sure. I mean, I think everything should be shut down for a couple of months, at least until like, why rush it? At least to August. I think WWE should have instead of having SummerSlam, have WrestleMania in August. Yeah, I think so.
I'm not trying to go on unemployment till August. I'll tell you that shit.
I'm not talking about you, man. I'm not talking.
You said shut it all down.
I'm talking about big events. I'm talking about big events like WrestleMania. Like, it's not going to take much for 10 people to have this virus to go to WrestleMania, and this stuff starts right back up again. You know, Vince is still trying to have WrestleMania in a couple of days. That's ridiculous. That's crazy.
Way I heard, it's going to be at the training facility with no crowd.
Yeah.
Postpone the Hall of Fame till SummerSlam. They've already said that.
Yeah, it's the same with it, but him and Vince McMahon and Dana White have the same type of mindset.
Money.
Yeah, you know, and Dana White is not just only looking here; he's looking all over the world to have this event.
I honestly thought if there wasn't the travel ban, originally I thought, and I knew Khabib got stuck, I thought they would try to have it in Russia. You know, Tony Ferguson's from Michigan originally.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he went to Grand Valley, and then he wrestled with Muskegon Community College for a while.
Okay.
So he's from the west side of the state of Michigan.
Okay. But man, honestly, I'm not interested in getting on a plane right now, and a flight over to Russia. Like, no.
Rocky did it. Rocky did it.
Rocky, it was not a worldwide pandemic going on when Rocky did it.
Yeah, it was called the Cold War.
Yeah, man.
I'm not trying to make light of it. I'm not trying to make light of it, but it's just. Yeah.
No, I just think they should just wait. Like, any type of big time sporting events or anything like that, I think they should wait a minute. You know, before it starts right back up again. You know, I was talking to my lady about her daughter's graduating, and you know, she was talking about the graduation of her prom. I'm like, they can always have the prom in July. Like, what's the big rush?
Well, that's like our daughter. Our daughter is getting ready. Was supposed to graduate college, and it's important for her mom and me and the family to see her walk. And what are those kids gonna do? And she's a performing arts major, so their big thing is to do a dance, and they worked for 4 years to put on this performance and this dance, and like the week right before it, like actually 4 days before it got canceled. And like her world that she worked for 4 years got, ripped away from her. And, it just affects everybody's lives in so many different ways, but I really feel for the seniors in high school, the kids in school, it's bad. I feel bad for, everyone, people losing their jobs. It's crazy. But,
yeah. Yeah, it definitely is, man. So let me ask you this. So do you think that Dana is going to be able to pull it off? Do you think he's going to find a venue? You think he will?
Yes. Like I asked Travis before we started, they don't have any bans down south on the states, like travel bans. home confinement type thing or anything like that. Then he'll find something. He'll go to the U.S. Virgin Islands if he has to. He'll go somewhere. He'll figure it out. If it's a 5,000 seat arena, he's gonna put 5,000 people in. I really think that's now if what was it how the two brothers, how do you say their name, the Fertitta brothers, or the ones that own the casinos? If they were in charge, I think it would be shut down. But Dana has these investors. He pretty much has the control. I think he'll find a way to do it. Or the card is such shit anyways that they'll just do it with no audience. And I feel bad for the fighters being at risk.
If you were a fighter, would you fight?
Fuck no.
I wouldn't either. I mean, the whole thing, like the chances, I don't know, man. Just from I don't like flying on airplanes anyway. I do it. I don't like it though.
Gene, I'm gonna give you $300,000 to fight me and go on a plane. You're gonna get on the plane.
Ain't nobody in the UFC making $300,000. They are fighting for $20,000.
That main event will be $300,000. That's the average for the main event.
Give me the Floyd Mayweather money, then I'll get on.
I agree.
Yeah, Dana, pay me like Floyd, Dana. Come on now. They got the money to pay these fighters like boxers. They just don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous, but that's a whole nother topic in itself.
I don't know. So right now, I'll just say this. I think, this is my prediction, the show will go on in an empty arena. And he'll try to make his money off pay-per-view buys, which no one's going to buy.
Yeah, so what would be the purpose? You see,
it's just like the show. They just had the show in Mexico or Brazil, excuse me. There's no purpose. It was an empty arena. It was horrible. Actually, the guy from Michigan that used to train with Isaiah, that's out in Vegas now, he fought on it. Kevin Lee. I get messed up with the wrestler.
I do too. Wait. It's Kevin Lee, right? Yeah, it's Kevin Lee.
Yeah, I believe he was the one that fought on the card, and he lost in the third round.
Okay.
And it was in the empty arena in Brazil.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, I just wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't do it. I don't think it's smart. I think if people are really invested and want to see the card, they will see it in July or August or whenever things die down.
I think Khabib and Ferguson, if Khabib was here, he would definitely find a way to do it and find a way to fill the stadium. But with this card, I don't think he will.
Wait. Okay. Well, let me ask you this then. Okay. Why would it be a need to find a stadium? Don't they have a performance center? They have a UFC training facility. Okay, so if they're having an empty arena and you're not selling tickets, why couldn't you have it there?
I don't think it's as big, and I'm assuming that's where they did the Ultimate Fighter.
Right. But it don't matter because it's going to be empty anyway. An arena, why would you spend money and rent out Little Caesars Arena or some other place and it's empty when you have your own place in Vegas?
Do what WWE is doing. Right.
Exactly. Or AEW or whoever. Like that seemed like that would make more sense.
I don't think he's that smart. Be honest with you, he's not Vince McMahon. I mean,
that's what I would do. I mean, why spend money if I don't have to? That's just my opinion.
No, I agree. But I don't.
Probably. All right, well, that's it for this episode of Fists, Kicks, and Flicks. You got any parting words for our listeners, Mike?
Stay at home.
Stay at home if you can. Stay at home. Stay safe. Wash your hands.
I touched my face this whole podcast.
That's all right. I'm quite sure you washed your hands. I mean, man, my hands be so doggone ashy. Oh man. All right, so next week, wait, before we go, Mike, what we gonna watch for next week? What's our next movie?
I think we called it Bloodsport.
Bloodsport? You want to do Bloodsport? Okay, we can do Bloodsport. All right, so next week we're going to watch Bloodsport. So you guys watch it. We're going to come back next week. We're going to talk about the first half of the movie. And just like we did last time, to get into some MMA talk also. So for my producer, Travis Plowden, and me and Mike Gibbs, we out of here. Peace.
See ya.